All right, okay, let's bring in the freaks. Bring in the freaks. You caught me monologuing about the 24 hours, about Alestrals, my feelings, magic, collaborations. Let's talk about weirdos online. I know what you're all here for, okay? Except for that one guy who's here for Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, man. I mean, you know, whatever floats your boat, buddy. Just glad you're here. Twitter freaks.
Twitter freaks. Oh, why'd you go and say that? Twitter freaks. The website was a mistake, yeah. Twitter freaks.
A lot of stuff going on today, and shockingly, most of it in the realm of card gamery. First, let's look at some stuff that I didn't get to last time or didn't do on the 24-hour stream. There's a significant amount of freaks that are now lost to time because of the 24-hour stream, but first I want to begin with this. 3 hours past my bedtime yesterday, and suddenly I got the idea to make a video called Family Guy Beautiful Moments.
Oh, crap, it's Carter. I bet he's mad I told the news about him. I'll just do what Superman does. Oh, hey, Carter. Hello, citizen. Have you seen Peter? Oh, he was just here.
I'm so in for this. It's so good, dude.
He was just here.
it's so good. It's so life. It's so good. Oh my god. Okay, that's enough of that. Next up. Okay, this shit is so funny. I'm sorry. I am very tangentially into metal, but this is the saddest thing I've ever seen. Right-wing Christian metal is so shit. Watch a dude put on his scariest evil jester voice. I'm sorry, like, come on. You can't make music like this and be like, look at the impure, the depraved in the streets. And you know, that's bad. That's a bad thing. They need to be at home caring for their children. I mean, those lyrics would not be super out of place elsewhere, but not as a bad thing. Okay, that one was just bad. And, you know, not going to be like this. A lot of vocalists really bad at writing lyrics. They get away with it. Cool. Cool lyrics. Cool lyrics. Yeah. But like, and then they're like, but that's bad. We do have to block out the word suicide. That would be a little much. I'm going to be completely... That would be a little much. Usury? You're going to throw usury in the fucking... Come on. Usury? Everything you can be mad at. Usury? The interest rates, they're insane. I saw some dude giving another dude brain. It's about being gay. It's so good, dude. Oh, man. What is usury? All right, time for a little history lesson from a Rothschild. I'm the usury master, folks. All right, so we'll just type it in. I bet it just has a better explanation than I could give. Oh, it's not. Okay. So usury is just lending money. And when you collect interest on the money at a price that's unfair, that's usury. But like that's subjective. So a whole bunch of systems are like, okay, any interest collection at all counts as usury, right? Here's a fun fact. Did you know the reason why Jewish people are moneylenders so frequently in old and ancient times is because Christian nations were prohibited by religious law to practice usury. So they would just hire out Jewish people to do it. They'd be like, hey, can you guys do this thing for us that we aren't allowed to do because of religion? And they were like, yeah, fine, we'll fucking do it. And then 10 years later, they're like, why do these bankers charge interest rates? Motherfucker, why do you think? Who asked? You. This is what Merchant of Venice is about, by the way. I just get a little Shakespeare in there. Greatest author of all time. Next up. Okay, this is so if you're unfamiliar, Elon Musk has been in court this past weekend for just neglecting his child or something, as I understand. But Grimes is trying to get custody of the child, and this person, did you get back your child? Grimes, yes, of course. Finding out the state of Grimes's child custody battle from a screenshot of her response to Elon the ketamine addict is one reason why I remain trapped here. It rules here in hell. It does regrettably rule. This fucking kicks ass. I'm so happy. Oh, man. Oh, and it's H-Bomb. Why is it him? Next up. That's card games. I think we can move past card games. Okay. I am so happy to see Cunty Regirock with a handbag in the wild getting a pierogi. Oh my god. I'm so happy. What's the context of this? I hope that this is like AI slop or something, and someone didn't. Maybe it looks like it's on the outside. Maybe someone tagged it. It's not bad. Next up. Oh my god. The birth of a modern classic. This one is unthinkable. The Dan Henschel. I want to make an important distinction. A pedophile is defined as a person who is sexually attracted to children. Honestly, I wasn't that into the minor I was messaging. I was depressed and afraid of being alone. I would have messaged Bugs Bunny if he made himself available. So it's unthinkable. And the craziest part about this one is that, like, the thing about Dan Henschel is I just sort of live in constant fear that at some point enough people are going to know him that he'll never be able to get one off again. You know, it's just going to be, oh, haha, we're all in on it, from here on out. But this one was excellent because not only did some freaks fall for it, but mostly he got a lot of people who were like, listen, I'm a fan of Dan Henschel, but this one went too far. What's the joke? That he's a pedophile? In poor taste, to be quite clear. And I was like, I am so happy to find there is still an angle by which he can get people who get the joke. It's, God, he's so good. He's so good, dude. Oh, my God. Also liked The Joker Goes to Home Depot. Another one this week. It's time to have the Dan Henschel versus Old Drill GOAT debate like it's MJ versus LeBron. The greatest poster of today versus the greatest poster of all time. You guys think Drill sold the account? Drill sold the account is my favorite conspiracy online. It's like, no, dude, he's just getting old, Oh, my God. Like, if you go back and look at Drill's, like, 2010 stuff, there's a lot of stinkers. There's a lot of stinkers. I think Drill started the Drill sold the account and then started posting bad as a bit. Oh. Next up. Women. Fonk is for losers. Me. Boy, what you say about Fonk? Enters Trollface crash out mode. Inglis or Spenois blood. True. I love these. These are so funny to me. Oh, man. Farfa would laugh at this. This is a certified Farfa banger. I mean, this is a thing where it's like, they are clearly joking, but I like the joke. Next up. Who the hell is this guy? I'm sure you're all familiar with these adding my OC into the show memes. I like this one the best.
I'm Magnet Man.
Oh shit, is that Magnet Man?
Yeah.
That's good. Wait, Magnet Man is in this episode? Yeah. Next up. Okay, we'll talk about Nadu in a sec. Okay. Let's talk about some politics. This is important. As you know, Tim Walz was assigned to the Kamala Harris ticket this past week. And it has been an unmitigated disaster since. So much has leaked about him. Like that his kid loves him too much. That was a big one. He said white guy tacos, which is the worst slur one can imagine. But it's time to talk about Scoutgate. Sending a special birthday shout out to our favorite pup, Scout. Okay? So this is him with Scout. And let's look at the second tweet. Couldn't think of a better way to spend a beautiful day than at the dog park. I know Scout enjoyed it. That's not Scout. Those are two different dogs. What is he hiding? What else is he hiding? What's going on here? What's the problem? He doesn't see color. True. Okay, are you ready for the actual truth of what it is? This second one is not a picture. It's a still from a video attached to this tweet. Let me see if I can find it in the responses. This is my favorite reply. You can't make this up. I can't wait for the press to say, yeah, Tim Walz has multiple dogs named Scout, and that's why it's normal. Anyway, it's a video. It's him with the black dog at a dog park, and the other dog comes up to him and he pets it. So they screen capped it while the other dog was on screen, and they were like, well, well, well. Who is Scout after all? It's so good, man. This is going to be like a determining factor in the debate. In the VP debate, he's going to have to announce like who Scout is. It's so good. You can't make this up, man. You can't make this up. Holy shit. Which one is Scout? Do we have the video? We do? Oh, let's go. No, it's an Instagram video. I want to see the Oh, here it is. I don't have an Insta, though, so I hope I can still watch it. Okay. Says, are you jealous? These dogs, they always get jealous. Sadie gets so jealous. Pause it there. Where's Scout, Tim? Where'd he go? Time to get your story straight. All right, next up. Now that the statute of limitations is up, I stole $500 worth of products from a Sephora in high school because an Instagram famous mini horse walked by and all the employees left the store. 1, this means little Sebastian is an accomplice. 2, Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you people? Don't admit to crimes online. But 3, admittedly based, you know, at $500 worth of products from Sephora, that's like what? 2 products? Oh my God. Just take it to your grave. If you're going to commit a crime, just don't tell anybody. Next up. Loved this one. Get the volume up for this.
Drop the drum! It's okay. I got the fool card. Drop the drum! It's okay.
The fool. Next up. Okay. We've talked a lot about elections on this channel, but I think it's time that we delve into the most egregious electoral fraud that I think we have ever seen in this nation. So, Kentucky is running an I voted sticker contest in which the I voted sticker that you will be given will be drawn by an area elementary schooler, I believe. And as of last week, it was down to 2 designs. This I voted with the horse, and, you know, you got a tattered flag, and Lizard. Lizard Man. And unfortunately, today the results are in, and Lillian Bonkskowicz, come on, that's not a real name, won with this horse-themed drawing. I'm sorry. It says, the margin, while close, is outside the recanvas threshold, and Lizardman has graciously conceded. Stop the steal. If there was ever time to do January 6th a second time, it is over. I have been told LIZARDMAN will be addressing the nation tonight at 9 p.m. on CBS, and he will call for an end to the false reign of the Maduro-style victory of the horse I voted sticker. Do not certify this election. It is time for the faithless electors to come in clutch. Jeez. All right, let's talk about, do we want to talk about card games? Okay. So, been a big day for card games. First and foremost, let us talk about Magic the Gathering. So Magic the Gathering got a new ban list today. Just click this. They banned Nadu Winged Wisdom, a design mistake from Modern Horizons 3. Following on the heels of the design mistakes in Modern Horizons 2 and Modern Horizons 1. It's not their fault. At the end of the day, they did have to do it for, I don't know, fun. But if you're unfamiliar with this card, I'll just give you a quick once-over. Nadu Winged Wisdom is a 3-mana bird wizard that says creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land, put it onto the battlefield, otherwise put it into your hand. This ability triggers only twice this turn. It turns out this goes infinite with almost everything, including Shuko, 1-mana equipment that just costs 0 to equip. You just target over and over again. And fun fact, this ability triggers only twice this turn, doesn't refer to the ability of Nadu to give things this ability. It refers to the individual ability on each printed creature, which means you can just do it a billion times. It was responsible for a truly horrific format in Modern, which is only slightly worse than Modern usually is. And as a result, it has been banned. There was one ban list prior in which it was not hit. People were a little upset about it, but in the defense of Wizards of the Coast, it was like the week after the release of this set. So, like, the time was just bad. Okay. Now, I know what you're thinking. How did a card like this escape? Well, they tell you when you're trying to be wary of conspiracy theories, if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. To go back to our usury conversation a little bit earlier, one of the reasons I think the, neo-Nazism fails is because its answer to everything is the same thing, which is Jews. They're like, every single ill ever conceived is by the same people. How convenient, right? In reality, the way that power works and the way that oppression manifests is nuanced, right? There are mechanisms by which different people are responsible for different outcomes. With the exception of Magic the Gathering, in which every single time something happens, you can draw a straight line to the people responsible, who are, without question, Commander players. And it's odd to me. It seems like one of these days there's going to be an issue that isn't Commander's fault. But there hasn't been one yet. Today we got this, and I can't believe it was even printed, a blurb on the same level, in my estimation, as Konami revealing that they had banned all the synchrocentric elements during wind-up winter. In one of these meetings, there was a great deal of concern raised by Nadu's flash-granting ability for Commander play. After removing the ability, it wasn't clear the card would have an audience or a home, something that is important for every card we make. Ultimately, my intention was to create a build-around aimed at Commander play, which resulted in the final text. I missed the interaction with 0-mana abilities, seems like the first fucking thing you should think of, that are so problematic. The last round of folks who were shown the card missed it too. We didn't play test with Nadu's final iteration as we were too far along in the process, and it shipped as is. Holy shit. So, just so you all know, a 0-mana ability being the linchpin of a broken interaction should be the first thing you are on the lookout for, in my estimation. I play Magic very rarely these days, but the first thing that I thought of when I saw this card was, boy, sure seems like you could trigger that infinitely with a pretty easy setup. Like, modern players broke this card in a matter of seconds. It wasn't a hard interaction to locate. The fact that a whole round of people didn't discover it, that's shocking. And then they didn't playtest with it at all. Why even admit this? The frustrating part about this is it came out in a set called Modern Masters, and it is kind of the canary in the coal mine that, guess what, even in sets specifically designed to improve a specific format, we are printing Commander cards because we can't stop ourselves, because there has to be Commander in everything. That shit about this product is not for you. It's for everything but Commander players who are just given whatever they want no matter the product. If there is cardboard, it has to appeal to a Commander player of in some capacity. I will say there is another little tidbit hidden in here that people have kind of spoken at length about, which is it possible that it wasn't their fault? Like, either the designers are so unbelievably moronic, they didn't think of the obvious thing that would interact with this, and 15 other people signed off on it, or too far along in the process refers to the unbelievable rate at which cards are being shoveled out of Wizards of the Coast. Maybe they didn't think of the 0 mana ability because they didn't have more than a couple of minutes to think about this restructured card. Maybe the reason everyone missed this interaction is because at this point, a significant amount of designers functionally have to rubber stamp things in order to meet product deadlines. Maybe one of the reasons why this escaped is because too much shit is getting printed, because every year Hasbro comes back and says it's not making enough money, make more of them. I don't know. Remember 4 sets a year? Yeah. Yeah, I do. There's just a lot in this weird mea culpa article where they're like, hey, it's so frustrating. The deck was a logistical nightmare, referring to an endurance loop that took all this billions of years to assemble and was non-deterministic. It's like super unintuitive. But it just feels like clearly what's going on is decisions are being made to cater specifically to Commander players because they're the ones that buy product, apparently. Decisions are being made to shovel as many fucking sets out the door as we can with as much appeal to Commander players as possible because that's the mechanism by which the line goes up the fastest. And it's putting enough of a strain on playtesters that they can't even try the card that they changed at the last minute before it gets out the door. I don't know. Notably, there was a couple of things in this ban list announcement that were weird. There's a grief hit. Grief, I think, is it kind of weird seeing people turn on grief. Grief was just widely hated by everybody. And then today I've seen everyone be like, Grief was in the 7th best deck. I don't care, right? If people hate playing against it, get it out of there. But everyone was mad that there was no One Ring hit. Mad there was no Treasure Cruise hit. Just seems like they were supposed to just hit Nadu on this, and they maybe hit one thing they shouldn't have. My experience with PD was the team was so hesitant to make changes last minute, even ones easy to eyeball, on standard releases out of diligence that I think there has to be a moral hazard on Modern Horizon-like releases. If it goes crazy, who really cares? God. Patrick Sullivan. I mean, what a gift. Can't believe this person is in the community and posts like this. Correct. Absolutely correct. Biggest brain in the history of card games. Honestly, up there for sure. The two things Patrick Sullivan does on Twitter.com is be right about design and yell in the comment section of Pro Tour players who are from Israel. That's all he does online, and we love him for it, folks. Crazy weekend for Magic, of course. Additionally, crazy weekend for Yu-Gi-Oh! So let me ask you all, sound off in chat, who went to a regional event this past weekend? Ho-ho! Statistically, not many of you. This comes from Dahlia. Incredible account on here. This was the Houston regional after signups ended. Doesn't look great. There is another vantage point where people were like, no, there's a ton of people, and they posted from the front, and it's like, yeah, I mean, if you post from the front, it's going to look like there's a ton of people because that's where the people are, right? The numbers on this are terrible. Last year at Houston, there were 580 individuals. This year, there were 250. Darth Nash is in the comments talking about how Utah regionals were at 60% capacity relative to last year. Of course, this comes on the heels of a YCS in which under 1,000 people attended a Californian YCS. It's NorCal, but Jesus Christ. I wonder why. I think it's a number of things. Firstly, of course, is the format. It's rough. Secondly, I would say is the fact that a lot of people know what the best deck is and want to play it, but feel like they don't have a financial way to do so. Like, I think that Fiendsmith being available to everyone solves a ton of the problems in this format, because I think the engine is really cool and fun to play both with and against, but unfortunately is just like not available to everyone. Third is that I don't know. I feel personally that it is weird that we are having events right now. And I can't be the only one who thinks this. Historically, what's happened is after the WCQ, there's about a 1-month reprieve in live Yu-Gi-Oh! Events until Worlds. Worlds happens, there's a post-Worlds ban list, and then afterwards, the season starts anew in preparation for another year of Yu-Gi-Oh! But instead, events just kept going. They announced that this year there was not going to be a break in between the WCQ and Worlds. So these people are getting their invite for a WCQ the Worlds associated with has not yet happened. They are playing this format they know is seconds away from ending, thanks to a ban list that we have been communicated the date on, for a format that doesn't even feel completed, that's like a year out. So I think a lot of people just made the conscious choice to being like, well, it's so far out. I just did the WCQ. I want a break. I don't want to have to invest in this dog-ass expensive format. I'm just going to stay home. And we're seeing people, I think, staying home at a really freakish amount. I mean, this really scares me, to be honest. Like, you know, I have played Yu-Gi-Oh! Since the beginning. I remember low attendance events. And let me tell you, the strangest thing to me was throughout, you remember Goki, Gumblar, Firewall formats, some of the worst Yu-Gi-Oh! That was ever played, attendance remained pretty stable. There was not a super noticeable drop in attendance. But now there is? Like, did we finally get fed up? Is the price point sufficient? To think that even when people were sitting down to get looped 5 hands in a row, they were like, I'll do it. And now they're like, I got better things to do with my life. I don't know. What's this attendance drop like compared to like awful windup in sector format? Okay. as doomy as this looks, I will completely admit it is nothing compared to Wind Up Inzector. Wind Up Inzector, I would say probably a third of the community permanently left. It was like it was a loss that I am shocked Yu-Gi-Oh ever recovered from. But and that's a lot of the reason why I think a lot of people are like, it's over, you know, there's no coming back. With the knowledge that we did come back from that, I think this is recoverable as well. And the fucked up reason is I think the way to recover from it is very, very, very simple. A specific targeted list that hits cards people hate playing against regardless of their strength. A reprint policy that gets the new stuff into players' hands very quickly, like front load those Fiendsmith reprints. A new pricing support structure that, I mean, if you want to talk to someone, John from House of Champs has unbelievable ideas about this. Things that would cost Konami no money and would not trample Kazuki Takahashi's moneyless vision that could solve that problem overnight. I think resolves almost every problem with this game. And I have no idea why it isn't being done, you know? Because I know a lot of people are going to go like, well, they're not going to do it because of money. But it's like, no, I don't think that's the, like, it doesn't cost them more money to make more effective pricing, really. It doesn't cost them more money to publish a ban list that gets rid of cards that are not being sold in packs anymore. You know, it doesn't cost them money to put newer reprints in the Megatins, right? Because people purchased Fiendsmith to go to the late season events regardless. And this is costing them money. These events, regionals, YCSs, they run at a loss, usually. Some regionals don't. I think one YCS didn't run at a loss. But the difference between a loss that almost breaks even and a loss that gets nowhere close is night and day for these people. Siberian says, I think even at the time, Duel Links was an understated reason why the game was getting bigger. Analogously, for the COVID years, Master Duel has been doing overtime work to keep it in the cultural consciousness. Maybe the buck doesn't pay as much anymore compared to what you are supposed to put up with. I think that might be it. And I think that that's how I always feel is like, you can't really gauge the health of the community based on a consistent level of playership. Because when Master Duel came out, we were expecting more people to come in. And some people came in. So maybe we were losing and gaining at the same time. Who knows? But images like this do make me a little afraid for Paper Yu-Gi-Oh! I will say, and I said this earlier, I don't think Master Duel is in any sort of conundrum like this. I think Master Duel is completely safe. I have my individual qualms with Master Duel, but compared to what is happening in the TCG, compared to what is happening in the OCG, Master Duel, fine. Master Duel is apparently making bank. Are you ready? Are you ready for me to blow your fucking mind? You know what's making bank to this day? Duel Links. Duel Links is making more money than Hearthstone. It's unbelievable. How? Well, it's a little more gotcha. Duel Links kept the lights on during COVID when there was no paper play. Duel Links isn't modern format. Let's see what's good in Duel Links right now. It's been a while. Oh yeah, man. Some really cool decks in Duel Links, like Dragon Link, Infernoble Knight. Oh, thank God it's not modern. Instead, we have that dog ass Firewall combo deck from oh my God, what is this? You guys are Riot Dragoning? Surely you can do better than this. This is just Dragon Link. It's just whack ass Dragon Link. Star Seraph? What the fuck is that? Oh, if I see Shockmaster, it's just 4s. No way the most powerful 4 engine of all time is Star Seraph, and that we're still doing that. There's no way that that's competitive. Look at the Star Seraph skill. All right, I'm going to hover the skill, and if I pog, you all have to hold me to it. You can normally special summon Star Seraph monsters. Monsters on your field that include number 102 can attack twice in the battle phase. During the main phase, play Star Seraph monsters, one each from your deck and hand into face-down defense. Its battle position can be changed. If there is a card on your opponent's field, send one monster from your field to the graveyard. Baryon Battlemorph, regain your true form. Place one Star Seraph monster from your deck to your field in face-down defense. Then add a Baryon Force. Okay. As I guess if your skill is 2 E-Tellies, yes, you can be meta. I hate that skill. This is what turned me off Duel Links, is in skills were just like, you win. Look at this. Skills used to be like, your monsters gain 400 attack. You can only use your skill's second and third effects once per duel. During this duel, you can normal summon monsters with the sum of attack and defense of 4,000 without attributing, but you cannot normally special summon monsters except Dark Cybers or Dark Dragon monsters. 2. Reveal a level 7 or higher dragon monster in your hand, then send a level 2 or 2 level 7 or higher dragon monsters from your hand or deck to the graveyard and add a monster whose sum of attack and defense equals 4,000 from your hand. This turn, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except Ling monsters, and if a monster on your opponent's field or is in their graveyard, place one Link 2 Boral monster from your extra deck on your field. Oh, cool. What's the Infernoble Knight one? It's also bullshit. It's also a 4 effect ass skill. What's the Striker one? 2 effect ass skill. The Sacred Beast one I'm sure is insane. Look at that. I'm not reading that. How much money is the 60k gems these decks need? You don't want to know, baby. You don't want to know. It's thousands. What happened to D-Draw? They nerfed D-Draw. Do you remember when they nerfed D-Draw? Oh, man. Remember the skill that said Mountain that was meta in Synchro format? It said it from outside the deck. And it was meta because of its interaction with the Blackwing stuff, right? Oh, man. Good times. That was such a good time. That was like legitimately like, that's when it felt like the skills were weak enough that you could build around them in an interesting way. It doesn't take a genius to figure out, oh, with my Borreload Link skill that has 8 effects, I should just put in the monsters that comport to these effects. Cool. Can you check the Rush Duel meta? Psychics. Cool. Oh my God, look at this. No tier 1. I should get back in a Rush. Oh, hell yeah. They got a lot of the psychic stuff now. Can Melody. That's sick. Rhythmical Performer came out. Oh, man. Rush is so good. It's even more expensive. Don't care. I will pay any amount of money to play Rush. One of the things that I think could be really helpful for Yu-Gi-Oh! In resolving the like outstanding crises that we face is the addition of Rush Duel. I hope that we will see it at Worlds. I hope they're going to be like, we're announcing it. We're canning Speed Duel. It's Rush time. And I think it's not impossible. We'll see. And next up, how did you all fall for that fucking Kilburn script? Oh, man. I think I have a, hold up. We have curated some posts here. Hoban tweets the limited list. Chris Lofton goes, fake site, and he tweets it again. We have this is from the Weather Painter Discord. Similar thing happened in the Shark Discord. At everyone, let's go. This is from YGorganization.com, combating misinformation. Got them too, baby. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. Dueling book disabled rated games. I'm hoping it's because they thought the list was updated. I'm hoping that's why. Got one for me, Curelax?
Smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't
Oh,
miss
thank
out
God.
more awesome content. Now you're going to look at this, but this is an official list. It's also on members. The level of power.
Does he have tweets or something?
This. If this is
No,
able
he
to
just
then
talks
shift it
about
at
it. Oh, so funny. Maybe ban list baiting is sometimes funny. If it works, it is so funny. There's a couple of little small idiosyncrasies that should clue you in it's fake. Firstly, the URL is Yugi Low. But secondly, Galaxy Tomahawk going to 2 with an effective date of 9/11 is, bada bing. And no Beatrice. Why no Beatrice? This was the funniest thing that happened, though. A bunch of people shotgun purchased Galaxy Tomahawk after seeing the ban list. This just goes to show that the correlation between dumb fucks who will fall for the most obvious joke online and people that think they can manipulate the market in a meaningful way, that Venn diagram is just a circle. Oh, man. Wait a minute. Are you implying that investors are dumb fucks? Who knows? First good Nerd Factor tweet, by the way. Really appreciate this. Nerd Factor is so funny to me. He will go to bat for being we have to ban Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon because it can fuck up a pendulum scale. I think someone replied to him a week ago with that picture that was Japanese man in 1976 refuses to give up World War II. That's kind of how I feel about the guy. I'm sorry what was done to you. You're going to have to move on. We're not setting scales anymore. It hurts me too.